Behind the silver glass, a man who had no eyes and smiled. She was here, and she had to come, as she known that would her heart be strong and true, and it had led her home. She had no calm hoping that there was someone left. Her mother and Reginald, her other brother, a fenced uncle, a man who watched the mermaid as he swam through the ruined stateroom. A mother placed her. He watched with eyes that were thoughtless and pits of darkness. She had come hoping that there was someone left. Here mother and Rams of War, the brother of his uncle man, watched mermaid as swam through the ruined stateroom. A mother placed he watched with the eyes of a formless pits of darkness. Hair short and dyed it black. Her green eyes were worried and guarded, yet in some ways she had not changed. Her movements were haggling, and there was an unlit in her glance, and the man who saw that she still did not recognize the source of power, and so did not believe in it. That was goodbye. By the time she did understand, it would be too late for her. Seize for her the world. The mermaid looked at the gaping hole under where the stateroom east wall once stood in a current born well, and lo swept through it some anemones and seaweed, and were its jagged edges. The mermaid swam to broken the thorn and bent down to touch the floor near it. Head bound, stayed. There was a quiet sometime. North wall closer to him. Well, he came through the mirror in the bedroom, but his servants have appeared and forced him back into the silver long jagged cracks, running through the glass like a network of veins, and he held him back now. The spaces between the cracks were too small to fit his body through, but large enough for his hands. Slowly, silently pushed through the mirror, hovering inches from the mermaid. It would be so easy to wrap them around the neck and end what the lead had started. But no man to drawing back. They wouldn't be wise of the courage and strength of the greatest of them. He'd imagine she might yet succeed where the others had failed. She might have found talisman, and if she did, he would take them from her. And if she did, he would take them from her mermaid, and once loved and trusted, would help him. The man who no eyes and waited it so long, he knew he must lose patience now. He ran into the glass, blending back into the liquid. His eyes once were darkness, shone bright and alive. It was darkness that watched and waited, a darkness that clouded in darkness as a gold. God's. In her last moments, they were seated. He would turn black delts, and they would know that had lost. The darkness had won. Here, fishy, fishy, here, silverfish, then a breathless Herman called out loudly as she dared. Liquid swelled and ripped around her as she moved through the hall, and signs in Venus and Mira's realm. It was a wall hung with thousands of looking glasses, light from wickerings and dancing inside of it, expecting for Verdun, who gazily imagined. At the revelations, the hall was empty, and Sarah's hoped her friends would be nearby. They weren't. He must have come out in the other parts of the Ennis, and the reason that least no Death Riders and followed her. Bubba Vinci seen that by smashing Mira and Swan through, allowing her expected to sword in her Captain Morrison. Come, Silverfish, she called again, her voice by whispering. She had to be quiet, to make as a few ripples as she didn't. Waiting, my lord, to know was he was very bit of dangerous as Elia. She remembered that beetles and Vengeance gave her a handful of them, and large silverfish pulled them out of a pocket and rattled them in her first. Here, fishy, fishy, she called quickly. And she found one, and the quicker she'd get home, Sonus and Moralden. 2 weeks ago, after the city has been divided in attackers, they had decided to her mother, and they decided to mortars at her father, and they've been sit by the Annas and Convent of Orlando. In Arctic Marine, under the leadership